This video tutorial is about Google AdSense and selling river cruises using the AdWords display advertising network, and I'm Joni Ogg. Tom, Andy, and I personally have extensive experience using the Google platform of contextual advertising opportunities. We founded and operated cruisereviews.com and portreviews.com and ran Google AdSense on the sites, which generated a six-figure income. And while we also ran other affiliate programs on the site, AdSense was by far and away the most productive. And we're going to share a few tips on how to make AdSense work for you if you're interested in pursuing this opportunity. AdSense doesn't make sense for many sites if they are focused on converting clicks to sales. Having a strong landing page and clearly defined value proposition and a motivating call to action is what is important. AdSense would just divert potential clients from converting. It would not be a productive element. However, if your site has a narrow focus and lots of traffic, consider running Google AdSense for additional profits. Or if you have a limited advertising budget, running AdSense might create an additional revenue stream that could be invested to expand your marketing budget. And to better understand exactly what the Google Display Advertising Network is, we will start with an understanding of how Google AdSense works, as it is a tool that has created the Display Advertising Network. With Google AdSense, you will make money within 15 minutes of loading the code onto your websites. If your website generates a modicum of traffic, I guarantee it. AdSense is a revenue share model in which Google will share the PPC rates that they charge for Google AdWords campaigns. Let us say that supplier A is running an AdWords campaign for keywords Crystal River Cruises and is paying $6 per click. By signing up for Google's advertising display network of publishers, you can insert code to pages on your website that will deliver the AdWords advertisements to those pages. And Google will crawl each page and determine the most relevant keywords for each page. And when a user views a page, Google will deliver the most relevant ads to the page. If a page on your website is optimized for the keywords Crystal River Cruises, then it is quite likely that the advertiser's ad will appear on the page. And if the user clicks on the ad to find out more information and visits the advertiser's website, Google will collect the $6 PPC rate from the advertiser and then share part of it with you. And while no one knows the exact formula, just for the sake of an example, let's say that Google pays you 40% of the click-through rate they collected. You would have made $2.40 from the transaction. And while $2.40 doesn't sound like much, imagine if you were averaging hundreds of clicks through a day. As publisher of the site, you have complete control over the format and the density of the ads. And the ads may appear in many different ways, but if the visitor sees an ad that he or she would like to follow, you make money when they do. So how much money you make depends on the bid rate for the advertisement and, to a lesser extent, how well your website performs overall. The millions of websites that are running the Google AdSense program make up the Google Display Network. Now here are some tricks to make AdSense ads perform better. When we first installed AdSense on our sites, we went with the normal 468 by 90 banner ad format. And we chose a color scheme that went with the web's colors and posted it right where a banner ad should be, at the top of the page in the center. And we were happy with the initial results, but kept thinking that it just looked too much like a typical banner ad that one would see all over the internet. We read every word on the Google AdSense site about how to make the ads work better and studied the heat map Google offered regarding ad placement. And we've tried a number of different things to boost our click-through rate. But no matter what colors we used, it didn't change any more than a minute percentage. Then, one night, when lying in bed trying to sleep, it came to us. I think all of us at just about the same time. People were becoming immune to the typical banner ads. Even though the banners were offering textual keyword ads, they still looked like banner ads. And we started trying different ideas and would monitor and record the results. And one day, we tried something that increased our click-through rate dramatically. We converted all of the pages in our sites to this new format. Overnight, our click-through rate jumped by over 1 full percent, which at the time equated to about $120 a day. This was a huge breakthrough, as there was no significant change in traffic to explain it. The more your ads look like links, the higher the click-through rate. We're so conditioned to think that advertising must look like advertising that we fall into a familiar trap. By using a standard banner with borders and everything else to make the ads look like ads, we persuaded readers not to read them. The Google agreement doesn't allow you to manipulate the code for the ads. However, when you select the ad sizes and color scheme, there is no reason not to dump the borders by selecting the same color for the border as the background of the web page on which the ads are going to appear. This has the same effect as removing the border entirely, and without the border present, the ads look much more interesting and accessible and less like an advertisement. Use the same font on your web page and in your ads. Make the ads look like they belong on the page on which they appear. Using the same font style and size allows the contextual ads without borders to appear as if they are part of the page rather than a separate ad. And use the same font size color for the hyperlink in the ad as you use for hyperlinks on your web page. Make the hyperlink in each advertisement look like another link on your page. Visitors are comfortable clicking on links that redirect them to other locations within your website. Therefore, they will think nothing is unusual about an ad that offers links that are identical to the links on your site. This is especially true when using link units. We've had great success using link units in the 5-ad horizontal format and displaying them in what looks like navigational structure. The more that you can make the advertising hyperlinks look like native hyperlinks, the more likely visitors are to click on them. And place the ads where visitors are sure to see them. We have had wonderful success placing ads designed as above within the next portion of a page on the right-hand side of the page. Everyone that reads the text automatically continues to the content in the ad that appears on the same line. The natural flow while reading text is from left to right, and the human eye can help but follow the text. However, if there were a border around the advertisement, the eye would normally stop at the border, as it recognizes that as being the end of the text. Use unique ad sizes. We also had great success with 336 by 280 large rectangular size, as when placed properly, it looked as if it were a text block with highlights of the surrounding content. It also appeared to be a sidebar worth reading and resembled nothing like an advertisement. Further, because the ads that are served are so relevant to the content in the article, this extra exposure has a huge impact on the click-through rate. So if you run a Google AdWords display advertising campaign, your ads not only show up when the keywords that you have bid on show up on the websites with a high degree of relevance to the same keywords. Now on to the Google Display Advertising Network advertising opportunities. So what is the difference between the Google Search Network and the Google Display Network? AdWords Display Network is made up of all of the sites running Google AdSense. Google's own sites such as Gmail. You can use textual, image, and video and rich media ads across the network. You can target specific sites, pages about specific topics, demographic groups, and more. We're not sure who at Google conceived the idea, but someone must have said something like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could serve our AdWords sponsored ads on other websites? Google was already expert at refining keywords and page content. Therefore, it seemed plausible that they could devise a method of identifying what a page on the web was about and then serve ads that were relevant to the page's content. It wasn't long after Google introduced the Google AdWords program that they launched Google AdSense. And while Google AdSense is for the web content, publishers that want to monetize their site by offering ads that are served by Google on their site. Google AdWords is for advertisers they want to advertise on relevant content. Here are just some of the ways to reach potential river cruisers. Managed placements marketing. A way to focus your marketing on high return opportunities is by using Google's Managed Placements functionality. We operate a website for home-based travel agents located at homebasedtravelagent.com. One of the resources on the site is a complete list of host travel agencies that have met certain requirements to be listed there. No one can buy their way on the list. We offer this to readers of the site so that they can have a list of potential hosts they can contact with some feeling of comfort that they're dealing with reputable host agencies. Well, one day Tom was looking at the list and noticed that there was an ad that was served by Google that read Tom Ogg approved as the headline. He went on to read the advertisement, which had clearly been written specifically for our site alone. And the host agency had used Google's managed placements functionality to focus their advertisement to readers of our list. This was a very effective way to use contextual advertising. AdWords remarketing campaign. Have you ever wondered how ads for specific products you have looked at keep showing up in your searches and on social media? Well, here's how it works. When we launch a remarketing campaign with Google's AdWords, it gives us a snippet of code that we then put on our landing page of what we're selling. And when a potential customer visits the landing page, it transfers the code onto their computer, a cookie. And when the user leaves our website and goes to another site that runs AdSense, it recognizes the code and identifies the ad that the code should be served. And voila, there's an ad for Crystal River Cruises reminding the client that it's still available. And the beautiful thing about remarketing is that it doesn't cost anything unless the client clicks on the ad and returns to the landing page. They would not be inclined to do this if they were not interested. This is a great campaign anytime you're selling something specific. And there are other ways to target with the Google AdWords display network. By interest. Build what Google dubs an affinity audience by targeting users who have shown interest in brands, sites, products, or services that are similar to yours. Just choose the specific interests or topics that are relevant, including anything from cruises, river cruises, all-inclusive resorts, to all types of travel. Let Google determine who's best to show your ads to. By location. Now, AdWords location targeting allows your ads to appear in the geographic locations that you choose. Countries, areas within a country, a radius around a location, specific postal codes, and so on. If Crystal River Cruises are a luxury experience, then you might try focusing on the wealthiest areas in your state, region, or locality. And how about by demographics? Choose age, gender, marital status, geographic location, device, and even whether the user is a parent or not. Select as many attributes as you like and really hone in on the audience that will be most effective for your brand. And by keywords. Develop highly relevant keyword search strings that clients might use to find your product. Target these keywords and your ad will show up on pages that potential clients use the keywords to search with. And by activity. Thanks to cookies, the display network can tell when users browse certain pages, fill out a form, purchase a product, abandon their shopping cart, or complete some other action on your site. And by device targeting. Show your ads to the right people across all devices based on their specific location, time of day, and device type. Summary. Well, contextual advertising has revolutionized the connectivity between the buyer and the seller, and it's enabled even the smallest seller to connect with even the smallest buyer on a global basis. So contextual advertising has diverted billions of dollars from other forms of advertising and enabled global commerce on the largest and smallest scale. Launching an AdWords campaign that only takes minutes and your ads start appearing almost immediately. It's quite possible to launch an AdWords campaign and make your first sale within 15 minutes. And never before have such effective advertising possibilities been available. Okay, so let's go over the most important points for this tutorial. Understanding AdSense helps understand AdWords. AdSense may make sense for your website depending on focus. And AdWords helps you reach potential new clients on many different ways. So we hope that you've enjoyed this video tutorial on selling using Google's display advertising network. And if you haven't, why not give us a like and a share? And if you'd like to be notified as we release more videos of interest to travel professionals, why not join our channel? Thanks so much for being with us today.